Hello, day two. And this video is going to be about a topic that most people might not like. I know someone who doesn't like this topic, and it's my girlfriend. I talked to her about it yesterday, and she was like, "Ooh, no, 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 I hate that. I hate this topic." I was like, "Okay, I'm still going to do it." And I think if you don't like this topic, that's fine. It's totally fine. She also won't be joining me today. She's doing something. So I'm in her room waiting for her to get back. But if you don't like this topic, that's okay. It's fine. But I'm hoping that you still watch this video and give this topic an idea, an open mind, and come into this video with an open mind and think, hey, maybe I can learn something different from this video and this topic, even though it's something that I don't like. I'm hard headed. I am. I won't lie. But it doesn't mean that I don't go in with an open mind for certain things. Rebecca likes to tell me a lot that I don't need to shut down certain ideas just because they might be against mine or I don't like them. And she's right. But a lot of the time I go into certain topics and situations with an open mind. And I'm hoping that this is what you do because you can learn a lot from other people's opinions, ideas, stories, so on and so forth. It's always a good thing to learn from other people. Today is learning to love the pain. Or learning to I saw Joe Bart's video about it and I'm like, I really love that topic. So I guess I'm gonna steal his title. This isn't gonna be my title, but learning to live and love the pain. We're gonna start with a quote today. The struggle itself towards the heights is enough to fill a man's heart. One must imagine Sisyphus happy. Albert Camus. I'm hoping I said that right. I'm not too sure. But if you don't know the story of Sisyphus, you sure know a picture of Sisyphus. Sisyphus is the guy pushing a boulder up a mountain. And basically, shortcomings of the story, Sisyphus pissed off the gods, Greek gods, and he was basically sent to eternal damnation of pushing a boulder up a mountain. And what I think this quote means, if I were to interpret it in my own way, this is what I think it means. I think it means that if a normal person and the average person were to take it, this is what I think it would mean. I think it means that even though we live our daily lives with a lot of pain, struggle, and different variety of things that happen throughout our lives, that even though we live with that, the the journey towards the heights, even with the struggle, and even the height of that struggle, is an accomplishment in its own right. So one can imagine a man, I don't mean just a man, but one must imagine a human happy because that struggle you got through and it was an accomplishment. And that's how I think it applies to the average person. And even though we live daily lives of repetition, like going to school every day for most of our lives. Actually, not most of our lives. For eight, no, how long did we go to school? 12 years? I'm not sure, but for a time of our lives. And for some people, sports is also repetition. Going to practice every morning, going to band practice, going to debate practice, so on and so forth. And that's repetition in its own right. And once you become an adult, you're of course going to work, taking care of your family, doing this, doing that. It becomes so normal and just it's repetitive. I talked to my brother about it, and he was talking. You're a kid. You in your life is different daily because you aren't at work, you aren't working, and you're not doing the same thing every single day. And I thought about, I'm like, yeah, a little bit, but I think that's for everybody. You could still have a pretty repetitive life, just going to school, doing the same bull crap classes every day, going to go um, run. For me, I run cross country, so it's running however many miles a day, every single day throughout the summer. And then our workout's going to change here in maybe 2 weeks. And then we're going to keep doing that same workout plan up until the end of the season. And we'll probably end up doing the same thing during track season. So it's pretty damn repetitive. And of course, as you become an adult, I already said that jobs, family, it's all repetitive. But even though we go through stuff like that, the struggle, it comes with struggle. Everything in our life comes with struggle, and I think that going through the repetition and struggle is something that is an accomplishment. You get through a hard time in your life, getting up through the peak of that struggle, and you can say, hey, I did that. I was able to get through it either by yourself or with the help of somebody else or so on and so forth, something else. You were able to make it through. That's an accomplishment. And that's what I think Sisyphus goes through. Or that's what I think that quote means. As Sisyphus pushes that rock up that mountain, he could be happy that, hey, I pushed it up to here, even though the boulder will roll back down, and he shall repeat that process over and over again for the rest of eternity. It is still an accomplishment. And even though we also go through very bad situations that sometimes aren't in our daily lives, like the the death of a loved one, breakups, losing a friend because y'all grew apart, or something else. We go through very bad situations, and everybody has something that is very different than another. One could live in a struggling household with horrible parents, and the other can live in a very nice house, but also has different struggles because they play band, and it's hard to keep a spot on band because you're going against this other person. That's a struggle, and bad situations. And even if let's use the band thing. If it was you versus this other person to get a spot in band, and you and this person have to practice and show your director, I think that's what it's called, band director, that you are better than this other person to get that spot. That's a struggle, and that's a situation that's probably not desirable. But the fact that you are trying constantly, going up a hill of struggle, it is an accomplishment that you are putting in that work, putting in that time, and trying to get what you want, because that is what is desired. And that's what I think, an average person could take from that quote, an idea, because, I mean, it's a very good quote, and that's what somebody can take from it. Why is it a good thing to love the pain that comes with certain situations? So, like I said, I took a lot. I didn't take a lot, but I do agree with. So yeah, I did. I guess I did take a lot, but I do agree with a lot of the ideas in Joe Bart's learn, live to love the pain. I think that was the title of the video. Shout out Joe Bart. Thank you, Joe Bart. Um, if you can learn to live with that pain, learn to love it, you can be happy through any situation that life throws at you. If I was thinking about it this morning after my run, if let's say there were two deaths in the span of 6 months. At the beginning of those 6 months, somebody died, and you were mourning in such a horrible way. It took you 3 months to get out of that. You were bed rotting. You didn't text any of your friends. You were distant from your family. You weren't you. And let's say that was the situation, and that took 3 months to heal from that, from the mourning and death of that person. And then 3 more months go by, normal life, whatever. At 6 months, another person dies. But you heard from other people in your life that you were not doing your best at that time, and they wished better for you. And you were thinking, hey, I want better for myself. So I'm going to get through this pain. I'm going to try my best and get through this in a healthy, responsible way. I'm going to ask for help if I need it. I'm going to talk to my friends and my family and see how else I can go about this situation and mourning. You can go about it like that. And as you do, you can look at it at the situation and be like, hey, I my friend sent me a video. But you can go about that situation and think, hey, I am trying to do better for not only myself but the people around me who love and care about me. So when you do that, it's it is living with that pain and knowing that it will hurt, but you want better for yourself and the others around you who do love and care about you. So you're going with that struggle up until you get to the peak, and then everything shall heal. And I had to think. But if you learn to live with that pain, let's say after those two deaths, another one occurs, and you went through that second death mourning really healthy, really responsibly, and it didn't take that much of a toll on you because you did it in a healthy way. You mourned in a healthy way. That third death, you can go about it in just the same way as you did the second, and it, of course, it's gonna hurt. It's the pain is gonna be horrible, but you can go about it healthier, and you can probably feel better about it if you can learn to live and love that pain, knowing that, hey, that pain and that struggle can make me a better person in the end. You can be happy with any situation that life throws at you. And that's what I love when I think about this quote, and that's what I think about it. You can learn to love any situation, and though that situation might be hard, you can learn to love it and get through any other situation. And you probably get through any other situation even better because you learn to love what life throws at you. Why is it so hard to love that pain? Well, of course, it's a struggle. It's a struggle because, hey, you're trying to love pain. I mean, I don't know many people who say, "Oh, I love pain," unless you are like that. But learning to love that pain is a struggle in its own right, of course. And I feel like I might sound like a broken record, but why it's so hard to love it is it. I mean, it's pain. It's gonna be hard to love it, and it's I can't really think about it. I really can't think of it in a way that might be easy to think about and easy to um how do I say this? Easy to think about it. But it's a good I think it's hard to love that pain because, well, it's pain, and it might not be what we want to do. We might want to sit in our sorrows, wallow in them, and not want better because that's what makes us feel. Sometimes we just don't feel things because it hurts so bad. And maybe the only thing that we can feel is sorrow and sadness. But if we learn that to love that pain, then of course, like I said earlier, you can get through any situation that life throws at you. And that's I think that's why it might be hard to love that pain, because it might be the only thing holding us together. And I also thought about this too when I was on my way home, listening to Joe Bart's video. I thought about this other quote. I don't remember who said it, but I love to think about it a lot. This too shall pass. You have maybe, I think, 80, I think the average is what, 85 years to live. And every moment, this is my take on the past and the future. The past does not exist. The future does not exist. Only the present moment. And that is, I mean, you can't prove the future, cannot prove the past. I mean, I guess you can, but you cannot. I don't think you can prove it exists. I think that's how it goes. And every moment, good and bad, shall pass. Like the moments of me talking have already passed. The me who started this video, started recording this, I think, what is it, 15 minutes ago, is not the same person talking now. The person who's talking right now is not the same person who's going to play Fortnite here in a few minutes. Every moment, good and bad, will pass. Whether it be the way you want it to or a way you don't want. It will pass. And the only thing about moments, good or bad, passing is how you handle the outcome of those situations. If you have a bad situation and you look at the outcome as something that's horrible, you're going to be like, oh my God, this was horrible. I hate myself. I hate this situation. I hate life. It is going to be hard. You are going to go about that situation horribly. But if you think about it, hey, this moment will pass. These feelings, these emotions, everything will pass. And I thought about it last night. I was having a difficult time with my girlfriend, and I was like, this moment will pass. I will not see her again until tomorrow. And that tomorrow, tomorrow will not be the same. She will not be the same. I will not be the same. This moment will pass. And it was a good moment. I was just overthinking a lot of things. And that's my fault. But even the good moments will pass. It's very beautiful outside, and I wanted to do this outside, but I kind of went against it. But that moment of how outside looks, I think you kind of see it, yeah. Outside and how good it looks and beautiful outside will pass. Because Texas weather sucks and it's horrible. It could start raining here in the next few minutes if Zeus wanted it to. Messing. But every moment good and bad shall pass. The death of a family member or a loved one will pass. And those emotions that you feel in that moment and what you might feel in the future, those will also pass. And I also thought about this too. Every bad situation is something that brings you out of your comfort zone. Most good situations are in your comfort zone, or they're out of your comfort zone so much that you enjoy them. But I'm going to kind of talk about the bad situation. If you're in a bad situation, you're out of your comfort zone. It's something that you don't want, and it's just bad. You don't want it, and it just kind of holds you in a way that you're out of your comfort zone. But nothing grows in comfort. Not a single thing. That's what I believe. That's what I think. And my girlfriend might totally think differently. I think she does. But I think nothing grows in comfort. Not a single thing. And the reason I think that is because you have to be out of your comfort zone to see different things that you don't see daily or on the average. You're seeing different things like a roller coaster. Say it was a really bad roller coaster and you were going to throw up everywhere. You know it. You just know it. But after that roller coaster, you were like, hey, that was freaking awesome, even though I threw up. I want to do it again. You just grew. You are a whole different person. You grew out of your comfort zone. Awesome. Nothing grows in comfort. And also, if you were to look at my thumbnail from the last video, a flower growing out of, or growing through concrete cracks, or cracking the concrete to get out and see the sun. It's not growing in comfort. And I don't think people can either. So, in the end, I think that the struggle of life and things that we go through in our repetitive daily lives can help us grow as people, and are accomplishments in their own rights because they are hard things to do. And every little hard thing you do in your life, take it as an achievement and an accomplishment that you did that. You went through that and you were able to get out of it. If you ever need help, always reach out, because some things can be hard and a little bit too hard for us to handle on our own. Reach out, always ask for help if you need it, and try to take help. It's always good to. But hope you enjoyed, and that's day 2.